Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of MYCO GO 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 GO. I think I did one too many goes. Oh well, anyway, today's not really actually going to be all that super exciting because of what we're going to be talking about, and but we'll get into that later in the video. But to start out, so we're going to pick up where we left off in our last video where we're trying to clean up bacterial contamination on agar, and how we were talking about using two different methods, one called trenching, the other sandwiching, the sandwich method. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you the result of having used both of those methods and what they look like so far. Let's see here. Here's my handy dandy light in case I need that. All right. I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera. Plus there's condensation. Usually don't recommend opening these, especially if it's like green mold. For the sake of this video, I'm going to risk everything. I'm going to open this contaminated dish that I potentially could have cleaned up, potentially. But it doesn't seem like I really have, actually. No. Anyway. Anybody in the chat? No. All right, so I don't know how well you can see this. Find the camera. There's a trench, and you can see how there's a lot of bacteria on one side. Well, I didn't get the trench perfect, if you can tell. It was just barely touching on one end, and then the bacteria slowly but surely started to bridge across, right? So that's why you want to make your trench wide enough. You want to make sure you get it so that the bacteria cannot jump across. Now, in this case, it seems like the mycelium is just too far embedded with whatever contamination, bacteria, maybe other contamination. Like I said, this liquid culture, it was kind of old. Not only that, but it had been neglected. It got dusty. It had been aggressively kicked around by someone with big feelings, not me. So it was inadvertently, it was gone at that point. But I wanted to see if I couldn't save it, try to clean it up, and make a fresh culture out of it anyway. Sometimes you don't know until you try, right? And that's the benefit of agar, right? That's the good thing about putting stuff to agar before you end up investing all your time and effort into sterilizing some grain and then inoculating that grain just to find out that your liquid culture is contaminated and is no longer usable, or that you need to do something to clean it up and make a fresh culture that can then be tested one last time to make sure it's clean on agar. And once you know it's clean, then you can use that liquid culture and it's fine. And when you inoculate your sterilized grain, if there's anything wrong, it's the fault of the grain or having not sterilized it properly, not the liquid culture being contaminated. That's the benefit of agar. You can test your stuff out, make sure that it's clean. In this case, we know it's not, so we're not going to waste and invest any time and effort into making and sterilizing a whole bunch of grain and then trying to inoculate it with either agar or liquid culture, because I don't have any clean agar or liquid culture, which means I'm going to be starting over again from square one. That's all right. I kind of expected this, and that's all right. I'm going to just order some more spores or liquid culture. It doesn't really matter. Or maybe, whatever. I'm going to try to get some new stuff, clean, test it on a clean agar plate. One way you could test your agar itself is you can just make some and let it sit for 5 to 7 days and then look at it. And if it doesn't have anything growing on it, no, then it's a good agar plate. It's good. It's clean. It'll last, for a while before you inoculate it. But you can always test and make sure your agar is good before you even put anything on it, because sometimes the agar itself isn't good, right? Like pouring it, maybe a little tiny little bacteria or dust mite made its way in there, and then it got contaminated. And then you try to put spores on that or something, and it's going to get contaminated. So sometimes it's good to let your agar cups sit after you make them for like a week, give or take, and see if they're any good or not. If they're not, then toss them, make some fresh agar, do it the right way. So yeah, that's one of what I feel is the major downsides of using the sandwiching method, is because if you don't do the trench properly, the bacteria will still slowly but surely find its way across. On just one end, I allowed the trench to kind of just barely be touching. It's hard to see in this webcam camera, but it's just barely touching on one end. And that bacteria crawled all the way to that one end and slowly but surely started to make its way across. You can still kind of see where it's like still trying to get across there, but it is. And, that's one of the major cons of using that method to try to clean up bacterial contamination. And now, from within my still air box, I'm going to show you the other two condiment cups I had that I have, and I used the other cleanup method, the sandwich method. I'm going to show you that real quick. Give me one sec. Uno momento. I'm going to go ahead and put my mask on. Actually, let me get a drink. Then I'm going to put my mask on. Cover your bases, right? Cover your bases. How is everyone out there tonight? Hopefully y'all are doing good. Me, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm going to turn off my light really quick just to show y'all. Actually, I'm going to see how this does. Check out my new lights. My dad got me these lights for my birthday a while ago, and I just now hooked them up. They're like able to hook up to Alexa and stuff, but I'm not gonna hook it up to Alexa just yet. But I got it hooked up. I got it hooked up to my app. I can control it with my app. Pretty cool, huh? I'm gonna get some more lights and stuff that are gonna be really cool to add to the whole flare, but that's a much later, further down the road project, and I don't want to give away too much about it just yet, but it'll look really cool. And I want to make a sign that says MYCO Go Go Go. What's up, bro? What up? What's up, broski? How you doing? How's your night going? I was just talking about my lights that my dad got me that I just hooked up. Check that out. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Yup. I guess Nate's not going to be able to join. It's all right. Amanda's probably cracking the whip on him or something, I bet. Amanda's got him, Amanda's got it, I'm not going to say, he's pussy whip. Oh, well, it is what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just asleep. So yeah, how's your night going, dude? Doing all right? I'm gonna try to keep up with the chat, but I'm also gonna get in the still air box real quick. So yeah, like I said, I'm not a fan of the trenching method, right? I'm just not. It's just it seems to me it seems risque, you know, it's riskier. There's more room for error. There's more tools you gotta use. I'm doing good, bro, and those lights are cool as fuck. Thank you, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. You ever seen those thundercloud? I don't know why they call it thundercloud. Thundercloud LED lights where they glue the polyfill and stuff to the ceiling on poster board or whatever, and it looks like lightning. I'm thinking about trying to do something kind of like that. Not like for my whole ceiling, but just like a little part of it, you know? I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of having polyfill all over the ceiling, you know? Maybe just in a little spot. That'd be cool. Still be cool, I think. Make it look like lightning and thunder and storm clouds. It would finally make sense to listen to really loud thunderstorms on a TV. Yes, I always wanted one of those things, dude. Yeah, it would be cool if I had a studio. Yeah, right. I remember you used to tell me about how your uncle Michael, your uncle Mike, used to have some cool lights in his studio or something. You used to tell me about like how his studio was set up. His music studio had like some lights and something to do with maybe I think liquor bottles or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I do remember you telling me about your Uncle Mike's lights and stuff in his studio or whatever, and how it was really cool. See, my brain might be scrambled, but I remember some stuff. Yeah, so just according to the one plate that I have that I use the trenching method on, it seems like whatever contamination it is so well embedded into the mycelium that even I'm severely doubting that even this um, the sandwich method could potentially even clean it up. I would love if it did. I'm not really seeing anything. Now, two of these cups immediately were still like bacteriologically contaminated. So I already kind of tossed those ones. They just had bacteria all over. There was no rescuing those plates. And these ones aren't showing any bacterial growth, but they aren't showing any mycelial growth poking through to the surface yet either. I'm going to hold out some hope for these two and give them a couple more days to see if, because one or the other is going to pop up first. It's either going to be some mycelium or it's going to be bacteria, right? And I don't know. I have a feeling that it's just going to be contaminated. That there may be no rescuing this culture. Um, I still have some in a syringe just in case I wanted to try to rescue it again on a bunch more cups and plates. I could invest my time and effort in that, but I think I'm going to chalk this one up to a loss. I've already dumped the liquid culture, um, like most of it, and I have the jar actually cleaning in the dishwasher right now, which I usually hand wash all my jars and all my equipment and everything. I usually don't wash stuff in the dishwasher, but I figured, what the hey, it's a good dishwasher. It usually doesn't leave behind like a residue, and I'll give it a good little quick rinse afterward just to get any like potential soap residue off. Uh, but I have some jars in there cleaning that I had used as agar and liquid culture, and some that had just been exposed to the open air and dust. And so I have those cleaning in the dishwasher right now. Um, yeah, and this is a DIY, mainly a low budget channel, and I am going to be showing you guys all the low budget and DIY tech stuff first, right? We're going to do that all first, but that doesn't mean that as time goes on, I'm not going to progress and get better equipment and show you the more high tech and the more professional way to go about doing certain things, and the more the more efficient and sterile way of going about and doing certain things. Like I've used these condiment cups before, right? You can be successful with them. It's potentially possible. Do I like using them? No. Let me tell you why. Because they are prone to contamination. They're prone to all kinds of problems. Like I said before in a previous episode, you can pour hot agar in here. It can warp the plastic just enough, almost unnoticeably sometimes, but just enough to mess up the seal. And then there's no way that's going to stay clean. This one has a cracked lid, just barely. It still doesn't seem to be contaminated, but I've been keeping it in this still air box. Just barely cracked, but it is cracked. That's another problem, right? I don't like using these. They're a very cheap, low-tech way of going about it, but you can also, another low-tech, cheap way and a better way of doing it is to go get some cheap, short, like mason jars, like little short ones, that you can use like petri dishes, because you can even make what's called no pour agar with them, right? And I think no pour agar, or if you're going to pour your agar I think it's best to use like petri dishes. Pour them in your petri dishes, right? But then if you're using petri dishes, the one downside with that is you have to have something to wrap your petri dishes with. So you either need to get parafilm, which is kind of expensive, and I don't recommend getting that, or you could just get grafting tape, what they use to graft tree branches to other trees, and grafting tape. It's cheaper. It works. It's just as good, and it works just fine. So buy grafting tape. Don't get parafilm if you're going to use petri dishes. Micropose now has these new petri dishes that aren't glass; they're plastic, but you can re-sterilize them. They're an autoclavable petri dish, so you can sterilize them when you're done using them the first time, instead of just throwing them away like other plastic petri dishes. You can put them in an oven bag, put them in your pressure canner, and sterilize them and reuse them again and again. It's a new kind of plastic that's autoclavable. Micropose. Check it out. Otherwise, jars work just fine, and you can do no pour agar in jars like this, or like I recommend using shorter jars because they're easier to access and get in and out of, and stuff like that. Otherwise, you got to set them on their side like this one. So I could go to Dollar General and get me some little short jars, right? Or I could fork over a few dollars and go get some actual autoclavable petri dishes or something from Micropose, which is what I might do, because condiment cups kind of suck. Okay, like you can try You can try to use them, and they do work sometimes, but they're not very efficient, and they're highly prone to contamination. So, you know, I'm going to go through and show you guys the low tech and very risky way of doing things, and I'm also going to show you guys a better way too. So in a future episode, I'm going to show you guys how to do things like no pour agar, which is a very efficient and very good way of making sure you have a high probability that your jars or your dishes are going to be sterile, right? Which is what you want. You don't want to have to like open stuff up and pour and all this and be exposed to air when you're pouring agar if you don't have to, because then you're open to potential contamination, right? And I've been pouring agar for a long time, and it can be done in a way that's very I'm out of breath, sorry. I think it's just this mask. And I've been talking nonstop for a second, but yeah, it's very prone to I can't remember the last thing I was talking about actually. Great brain fart, right when I didn't need to. But anyway, no pour is a lot more effective in some ways. There's pros and cons with every method you use, really, but some are a lot more effective in maintaining your sterility, so that by the time you use that dish, it's a completely clean petri dish of agar or jar of agar, and there's not going to be any potential contamination on it before you open it. That's great. That's what you want. You want a sterile. Of course, you can just you can buy already sterile made agar dishes, petri dishes with agar in them from reputable vendors online, right? But I've never done that. Personally, I like to do every step myself and learn how to do it all myself, so that I know how to do it. And that's just the way I've always done mycology. I never bought agar pre-poured or grain already sterilized and sent to me in the mail. I've never done that. People do. You can. You can skip all these steps. You can buy already made agar. You can buy already sterilized grain in a grain bag with an injection port. You don't have to do all this, People do it for you. You just have to pay money. You have to fork over more money, to do it. But I like to do every step. I like the whole process, I like the science behind this stuff, and I like learning. I kind of like the challenge of it, Sometimes it's good to put yourself up to a little bit of a challenge, right? It's how you grow as a person. So yeah, I don't know when or if I'm going. I wish I could say my next video. I wish I could say this video was going to be me making a clean transfer, but I don't have very high hopes that in the near future I'm going to be doing a clean transfer from one of these cups to a clean dish and get some non-contaminated mycelium and be able to grow anything with it. I think I'm just going to have to chalk this one up as a loss. I'm going to have to get new spores and put them to an agar dish, get them to grow, transfer that to a clean agar dish. Then I can do something with that. I can put it in a liquid culture jar. I can make liquid culture out of it. I can put it to sterilize grain and grow something, right? But I think right now I'm going to just take my time to do things correctly. I keep forgetting how hot this little tiny LED light gets. It's going to melt this plastic one of these days. I'm going to have to do something about that or get a different light. So In order to do things correctly, sometimes you have to fork over a little bit of money, to get the proper equipment to do things in the most efficient and sterile way, right? Like, that's just what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to get like an induction sterilizer and some petri dishes and some grafting tape and then some spores. Otherwise, if I don't get petri dishes, I'll have to get some jars. But I just got so used to using petri dishes, and it makes me feel like I'm an official professional scientist, even though I'm not. All right, let's read the chat. Yes, it's amazing how much you learn about cultivating mushrooms. There's so much info to soak in. You're very thorough in your research. I've never heard of all this in this much depth. That sucks. You have to start. You know what? Like, I've had to start over a million times, dude. Like, I don't hide it, you know. But you make mistakes to learn from, and uh, persistence is key, right? Like, that's one of my mantras now. Like, persistence is key. You can't give up. Never give up. You just learn and get better and improve, and eventually you're going to get to a point where you're happy with whatever it is you're trying to improve on. It took me like over a year just before I ever had any success growing mushrooms, dude. I'm not kidding. And then I got very good at it after that. And then that just, it snowballed from there even further. And it just made me want to start dedicating like 2 or 3 hours every day to like studying mycology or something about science, or just, something I was interested in. Blaze is a science guy. I keep forgetting to introduce myself as Blaze on this channel, but thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Blaze. Welcome to the channel. Blaze at MYCO GO GO GO. True that, brother. Persistence is key. I like. Yep. It's a good mantra to have. You got to give yourself positive things to tell yourself. Positive mantras, positive things to just tell yourself to keep going, and you got to feed yourself positivity. It's a lot healthier and better than negativity. Trust me. I would know. Yeah, so essentially, I'm just gonna have to hopefully, I can get a job soon. I remember you said Courtney was working at home. That's dope. What's she do? What's she do? Does she answer calls for people, or what's she do? Here's the lights I just got. Govee. RGB WW. It's like some kind of customer support that she does. Yeah, that's what Kelly used to do when I first met her. It was like some kind of customer support stuff for people, really rich people would order stuff on this one website online called Rulala. Answering calls, yeah. It's an office job, but hey, you get to do it from home, so it's not really an office job, right? That's kind of cool. It is cool. A lot of jobs like that popped up, especially after COVID, because they had to find another way. They're like, well, you can take equipment home or whatever, and then you can answer calls like that. Because before that, it was like at an actual call center. That's where she used to work, and then COVID happened, and then people got to do that from home, and then a lot more jobs cropped up just like that. Or there were a lot of jobs took on a similar kind of format where you could work at home but still basically do the same thing. That's cool. I'm still trying to get a job. Fucking sucks. Fucking sucks, man. Yep. But persistence is key. You can't give up. That's not an option. I wish I had to work. Stuck at the psych ward, LOL. Well, I remember when you said you first started, you liked that job. Is it starting to do you feel a little different about it now, or do you still like working there? I uh I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine doing that. But you said the pay was worth it, right? So hopefully that's still true. Like the money makes it worth it. I've had plenty of jobs where the money wasn't worth it. Like you know, one of my very first job, like actual jobs, I got paid cash for, and I would go in and we would clean up floors in stores when they would close down. We would like strip first. We would strip the wax. We put down the stripper to strip the old wax off the floor. And we didn't wear no masks or anything, like no masks. And that shit, like it had a fume. It had fumes. It would smell. It would like give you a fucking migraine from hell. And then even after doing all that, like I'd get a headache, really bad migraine. I'd have to continue to work and continue to like clean the floor and scrape the floor, and then finish cleaning the floor. And after doing all the stripper stuff, you got to clean it, then re-wax it. It took a while to do the whole store, and the pay just honestly wasn't worth doing all that, especially when I had a horrible fucking headache every time I did it from the fumes from that stripper wax stripper stuff. It was fucking horrible. I guess Nathan never got my message, or he's fucking preoccupied. That's all right. I wasn't really looking all that forward to doing this video, just because of the somewhat depressing nature of the fact that, oh man, I gotta start all over. That's part of it, though. When you want to do everything yourself, and not fork over that extra cash to just have everything, like have the fresh agar, have the grain, have the all that. Just buy liquid culture, which you can just buy liquid culture and all that. I usually just start from the very start, like get a spore swab or a spore print, put it to agar, go on from there, which is what I'm gonna have to do again. It's all right. I just wish I had a little bit of money in my pocket, a little bit, because then I could like immediately start another video pretty soon, and it'll probably be a minute before I can do anything else. Before I can move on, do another video. That kind of, I've been trying to consistently do another video, like at least every other day or so, and now I don't know when I'm going to be able to do another one, because I don't know what I would possibly do it about unless I'm just like showing a new way to make a new agar recipe, or I don't know, maybe I can come up with something to do in between then and now. Something. Maybe you could do different types of videos. Yeah, I tried actually considering that, like I could have a segment on my channel where I show how to make my famous curry burgers or something, or I don't know, have a cooking segment on my channel. But I'm not really that great of a cook, but I do make some fire stuff sometimes, like some grilled sandwiches and stuff, man, like grilled roast beef sandwich or grilled pepperoni, grilled, man, I make a mean grilled and mayo and tuna. It sounds weird, but it's fire. A grilled tuna with mayo and drizzled with just a little bit of honey. Sounds weird, but it's really good. I'm telling you, fucking good. Persistence and consistency is key, my brother. You got that. I appreciate that. I do. You know. Yeah, I'm just gonna save up. I'm gonna get the better equipment. Get the petri dishes or the jars, one or the other. Probably, I don't know, maybe the petri. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna get something other than condiment cups. I'm gonna get and I'm gonna get some new spores. Yeah. Condiment cups just kind of suck. They do work. I don't like using them though. They don't seem to be as uh, sanitary. People say they are, but I don't. And every time I use them, it seems like a lot more of them get contaminated than if I were using jars or petri dishes. I swear, like I don't, it's they're just not that great. They're not as sterile, not as sanitary. I mean, used to love when you'd make the grilled cheese and tomato soup. Also, that guac. Oh man, I haven't made guacamole in a while. I did, however, get Kelly into that stuff, but I have not made it in a while. That's something to consider next time I go to the grocery store because I've been making grilled cheeses and stuff lately. Like, my dad just had me make grilled cheeses the other day. Last night, actually, I made some soup that my grandma got us from Sam's Club, some baked potato soup, and I added a little bit of milk to it. Heated that up on the stove, and I made some grilled cheeses, and they were pretty good. He wanted to put one piece of cheese on each grilled cheese. I'm like, considering how thick that bread was, I'm like, well, you can't just put one piece of cheese, man. At least two. At least two. Especially when the bread's that thick. You gotta eat one piece of cheese ain't, it's gonna be like taking mostly a bite of bread with a little bit of cheese flavor. That's not a grilled cheese, man. That sounds good, bro. Potato soup's fire, fire. Hell yeah. It is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was like super chunky when it dumped out. It like kept its form. And Dad's like he's all like, I don't do nothing to it. When he was complaining about how I was putting milk in it or whatever. I only added like a fourth cup of milk. It wasn't a whole lot of milk. And he's all like, I don't add nothing to it. I just let it. And I'm like, okay, but like, look at it. For one thing, it kind of looked like it started to separate a little bit. It was a little bit past the expiration date, but it hadn't been open. You know what I mean? It just looked like it needed to be reconstituted and woke back up, and it was chunky. It wasn't like soup. It was like more like clam chowder, like super thick clam chowder, and it was just baked potato soup. And I was like, oh man, like you like it all chunky like that, like dog food. Ugh. Yeah, I did. I also, yeah, I added a little sliver of butter too. I asked him, I'm like, is it okay? I won't add anything else, just this milk and a little sliver of butter. It was a little more than a sliver, but I told him a sliver of butter. It was good though. Yeah, it was really good. That reminds me, you said something about that guacamole. I don't have any guacamole, but that made me think about this salsa that we got sitting in the fridge that we had took a little to go cup from that Mexican restaurant of some of that salsa. Some good salsa. And yeah, next time I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna get some avocados and some guacamole mix, and I'm gonna make some guacamole, and we're gonna get some more hint of lime tortilla chips. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I mean, butter goes good with potatoes, does it not? Man, I miss being around you and your dad, man. You got to tell him. I will. He went to bed early tonight because he's got to get up early and go to work. Usually he don't go to bed till like a little after 9. Hopefully he took his medicine, his medication. He usually takes it by now. Uh, but yeah, he just he has to get up early. So, but yeah, I'll tell him you said what's up. I'll tell him you said what's up. Then again, I think he might be in the kitchen. I just heard something. I'll tell him you said what's up. Uh, and then my mind's just drawing a blank. I already wore myself out. I wore myself out earlier because every day I've been going out and like picking weeds, picking like we've been constantly battling these dandelions in the backyard that are growing and choking out the grass that we planted. So like he bought this tool that, and if you don't know, dandelions have roots that are like, it's one big fucking root, and like they can go like that long down into the ground, so they're not easy to uproot. I did not know that until recently, like exactly how fucking, like, dandelions have long fucking roots, dude, and they're not easy to get up. But I've been out there picking, like, sticking this tool down in the ground and trying to uproot them the best I can to get these dandelions out. And it's been like, it's been an everyday thing. I'm just now finally like getting, like, making some headway getting rid of them because they're kind of fucking everywhere. But it seem flimsy. Yeah, I know, right? But they're actually like, for one thing, I just found out the other day dandelions are an invasive species. Like Europeans brought them over on the Mayflower or something. Before that, they were not native to here, but now they're every fucking where. They used to be considered just, like, not like a weed. They were considered like a food source and a medicine and all of this and that. But now it's just considered a weed that people try to get rid of. Even my grandpa made some dandelion wine, apparently. Yeah. Hey, you learn something new every day. I know I do. I didn't know that until I watched this video by this one woman that's like a forest ranger, but she's also like a, I don't know, a botanist or something. She's just a highly knowledgeable forest ranger, really into nature chick, and she was talking about dandelions and how they were brought over on the Mayflower, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. So they're an invasive species. Cool. Dandelion wine, cool as fuck. Yeah, I've never had dandelion wine, but I would try it. I would definitely give it a try. So what do you got going on tonight? I ain't got shit going on. All I'm gonna do is probably go eat something. Chillax. I'm fucking tired after pulling all them weeds. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I did a lot yesterday too, pulling weeds and sanding on that weather vane, and trying to apply for food stamps. Drinking a little plain MK1. MK1. More. What is it? What is MK1? Like Mortal Kombat? What's MK1? Just chilling, ready to get work over with tomorrow morning. I'm off every Sunday and Monday. Well, that's what's up. Hey, at least you get one of the weekend days off. Mortal Kombat 1. You mean the first Mortal Kombat? Like the original Mortal Kombat? How are you playing that? Is that like a game you can get on PlayStation Network or something? Probably. I keep forgetting everyone just, you can get it like every game digitally now just through the store, right? Liu Kang creates its own universe. What? Man, like that's some, you're getting into some shit. I haven't been able to keep up with none of that. I've basically been living under a rock pretty much. I am looking forward to the new Elder Scrolls though. Like whenever that comes out, I'm definitely going to be back into gaming all of a sudden. He is a fire god emerging with right. That's what's up. I'd like to see that. That sounds like a cool little twist on the Mortal Kombat story. Dude, you remember that one game with the dude? He had like multiple arms and he was like battling gods that were like 50,000 times his fucking size. Azura's Wrath. I think was what it was called. I never even played it, but I remember we were like watching a demo of it or some shit. Asura's Wrath. It looked like God of War on crack or something. Yeah, so if you notice the thumbnail picture I used for this one, I guess I just assumed I was going to be doing a transfer. Like I usually make my thumbnails way ahead of time, right? And then like I guess I just assumed that I'm gonna be able to get a clean culture going and I'm gonna put it to a clean agar plate. So that was basically the picture that I used. It looks like I'm gonna be doing a clean transfer and all that, but nope. Sometimes it just don't work out like that. I mean, but at least I got to show a potential method that could be utilized. I did that part correctly. It's just sometimes you don't get lucky like that, and you can't save the fucking. You can't save. You can't rescue it. Yep, yep. It was on PS3, and Courtney had it when we met. Azura's Wrath, Azus's Wrath. That's what's up. You said you were drinking. What you drinking on? The last thing I had a shot of, I don't even really care for it, honestly. Like Jägermeister. You ever had Jaeger? I don't really drink anymore, but like on my mom's wedding, I had a shot of some cherry bounce that she had me make for her wedding. I had one shot of that, and then when I got back to the apartment, my brother Nate, Nate, he had some Jaeger, and I usually don't like Jaeger, but like the one shot of cherry bounce didn't do jack shit at all, like at all. So like I did a shot of that Jaeger, and I want to say even that didn't phase me at all. Like I have such a high tolerance for alcohol when I'm not drinking that it doesn't seem to fucking do shit. Like it takes a lot. I just don't care to drink like that anymore. I just don't. That I don't like. It's just I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea anymore. I'm all right with that, honestly. To not crave it like that, like I used to. Like I used to just want to scrounge up every couple dollar, a couple dollars every chance I could to just go buy some vodka, and then I'd spend it on vodka and like soda to chase it with, like some really sweet Mountain Dew. What I used to actually do was I'd get like a half and half of some cherry Sprite and some Mountain Dew Voltage. Like I'd get a big fucking large cup of it at a fountain at the gas station, and I'd get like half voltage and half cherry Sprite and kind of mix that, and it was fucking good. Another Mountain Dew that's really good is that Goji Berry Mountain Dew. Man, that stuff I only ever see it in like at fountains at like gas stations. I've never seen it sold in a bottle or fucking anything like that. But for some reason, you can get Goji Berry Mountain Dew at certain gas station fountains, where you get to pick a cup and then yeah, whiskey and yeah, Jaeger, but that is like with licorice. Yeah, it's got a weird kind of sort of licorice taste, and I like licorice, but not licorice tasting booze. I'm gonna stop drinking but smoking. I know, right? She's my main thing. Favorite Mountain Dew is the bomb pop flavor one. I know there's a Fago now that there's a bomb pop flavor. It's called Fireworks or something. I didn't know there was a Mountain Dew that had that now too, but I believe it. I do. I believe it. Yo, you ever drink any Douce, any cognac? You ever had that? I ask because if you ever do drink some Douce and you got the bottle that's like kind of dome shaped and it has like a thin kind of like mouthpiece, but it's like dome shaped at the bottom. It's like perfect for pouring agar into like petri dishes, man. Like, cause I scored one out of a recycling dumpster. Like, I didn't even drink that shit. I would have tried it had I found like the whole bottle full. At that time, I was drinking. Uh, but I took that bottle and I was like, this is perfect for what I need it for pouring agar and shit. So if you ever never Douce, but I had a cognac. Yeah, Douce is a little bit on the pricier side. I want to say last I remember, like looking it up, like for a bottle, it's like for a bigger one, it's like $50 or something. You know, but I didn't buy it. I just took the bottle out of a recycling dumpster. You know what I mean? Like, uh, but yeah, when I actually looked at it at the liquor store at a festival, I was like, damn, I didn't know that shit was that expensive, man. Fuck. So what I will probably do in the future is just buy an empty bottle on like eBay. I bet I could do that. I bet like how much could an empty fucking bottle be? $8? Cheaper than that? I don't know. It's a nice bottle though for pouring agar. It's like literally the best thing. It's better than anything I've ever used. Any kind of media jar, wide mouth jar, regular mouth jar, fucking Erlenmeyer flask, Douce bottle. I'm telling you, like God, like I'm gonna get one just so I can show the chat, just so I can show it in my videos, and prove to the world that Douce bottles are the absolute king for pouring your agar. Number one. remember, dude, remember Douce is Jay-Z liquor brand. Yeah, that's true. I forgot who's. I see. I didn't want to say the wrong person. I didn't want to be. Oh, it's Dr. Dre. No, it ain't Dr. Dre because I knew that was wrong. It's Jay-Z. Uh, yeah, and Lil Wayne has his own rum. Bumbu. You ever had that? It's got a cool bottle. Yo, you remember the crazy Russian hacker dude on YouTube? He's like, safety is number one priority. And then he puts on safety glasses. That's how he starts out every video. Safety is number one priority. Puts on safety glasses. It wasn't even a hacker. He just did life hacks. That's what killed me every time. Like, you think he's Russian, he's going to be showing you how to do some hacking or something. No, he's just doing life hacks. Yep. Oh, damn, I already finished off my Dr. Pepper. Well, damn, that sucks that Nate wasn't able to join. That's all right. Next time. Um, yeah. And then, shoot, man, I really don't. I think he uses his real name now on social media. Who are we talking about? Oh, yeah. I think I did know his name at one time, but I don't remember anymore. Elias or something? Wasn't it like Elias something? That could be another channel. So much stuff to keep up with. My fingernail got caught on something. Anyway, um, Yeah, it kind of sucks because I honestly don't know when I'm going to be doing another video, if or when or how soon. I mean, I know if, yeah, I will be doing another video. It's just going to be a minute. Whenever I get some new spores in, whenever that happens. So I'm not sure, man. Yeah, see. I'm scared to even get on Facebook. Anyone I even try to talk to, doesn't even matter like who, guy or girl. Like Kelly harasses them and like, who the fuck are you? And it's just like, oh my god, like I'm gonna have to change my entire identity. You know what I mean? Like, God, some people are so fucking whacked. Like, sad but true. And like, how do you get that far gone that you feel like you need to control another grown up to the point where they don't feel safe around you, or they're just not safe around you? Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to think, I've been trying to brainstorm. I'm almost like more invested in this story I've been writing now than I am in my YouTube channel. I'm going to keep doing the YouTube thing, and I'm going to keep trying to get better at it and learn how to improve, make it more worth watching, more attention grabbing. But for now, I don't know. I keep going from thing to thing. It's not like I'm quitting the YouTube thing. It's just my focus right now is on something that I suddenly like, you know, started making something else kind of has my focus right now. But I'm going to keep doing the YouTube thing. Yeah, yeah, she was, man. Too bad I ain't got a time machine. If only. Things are so uncertain sometimes. But you can't lose hope. You gotta have hope. Because if you don't have hope, then there is none. Right? You gotta have hope. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna call the video here in just a second. What are you gonna be doing for the rest of your night? I'm just gonna go eat something and fucking chillax. And I'll start scheduling these videos later so that Courtney can join. It's just now 9 o'clock. It's just now 8:59. I'll just start scheduling these videos a little bit later. I mean, it's not like anyone really even watches these except for you guys anyway, and I do really appreciate you guys tuning in, so I have someone to talk to other than just myself. And you guys ask good questions and stuff too. I appreciate that. Like, it makes the show that much more real. It adds some realism to it. Adds a whole nother aspect to the dynamic of the channel. It's cool to have people asking real interesting questions and legitimate questions rather than just some asshole jumping on here that I don't know and asking questions that aren't relevant to anything at all and just being a troll or something, like, just being a dick for no reason. Like, because there are people that go around fucking up like live streams and being a dick in the chat for no real legible reason, just to fuck with people. It's just stupid. I'm happy you got away from that situation. Me too, man. Yeah, I love you too, man. And I appreciate that. And fucking, you know, everything about that is just unfortunate. That, yeah, I don't know what the future has to what the future holds with all that, but it is what it is sometimes, like shit happens and all you can do is do your best to keep on keeping on. Which is kind of like what this channel is all about, right? Like I'm starting over from square one, and even if I have to keep starting over, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna keep improving, and I'm gonna take everyone watching along with me to show everyone how you can do things the low tech, cheap way and in the less efficient and effective way, or I'm also going to show how you can do things the more effective and more efficient and more sterile and just more productive and professional way of going about doing stuff. Like I'm going to work my way from not having the good equipment back to having some better equipment and showing a better way. Just like I started out with the ghetto still air box, and now I got the cool one. And it's only $35 on. There's cheaper ones on Amazon too that are smaller. But I like this one. It's $35. Even that expensive, considering what all you can do with it. We are gonna be here whenever you stream, bro. Always down to support. Anyway, I appreciate that more than you guys realize. Like honestly, like you know, I feel like I don't really have any real friends other than you, and your girl. But that's all right because you guys are real. I don't need any more friends. I just need one or two real friends. That's what matters. Quality over quantity. I'd much rather have one or two really good friends than a whole bunch of really fake ones. you know, 1,000%. And it's just like this YouTube thing. I'm not doing it for fame. It's not because I need friends. Part of it is doing it so I can talk to my friends. And I feel the same way, dude. Ditto. Much love. True that. Heck yeah. I can't wait till we get to kick it again, man. It's been like at least 10 years, dude. Been a decade, at least. It's been over a decade. Pretty crazy, didn't when you think about it, man. Time just flies. I have two daughters now. Two little girls that sadly I don't even get to see anymore because they're with their psycho ass mom. But hopefully I can get my shit together and get them in a better situation. No matter what, you gotta have hope, right? And you gotta just stay positive about shit. That's the only way things are gonna get better. You gotta have that faith, that hope. Damn near a decade. Can't believe that, man. Man, yeah, man, you ain't telling nobody. Man, you ain't telling me nothing. I don't know, dude. I mean, look at me. I ain't no spring chicken anymore. I feel like it sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I'm still just like 18 years old. You know what I mean? At least I fool myself into thinking that. And then there's days where I definitely feel my age. For sure. Damn it. I keep snagging my nail and shit. Um, yeah, man. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do for my next video, but I am going to come up with something. Even if I can't, maybe I can show how to make liquid culture, even though I'm not going to be using it like right away. I don't know. Then again, I mean, my next video might just be me like putting spores on an agar plate or agar dish. I'll see. I'll put my thinker on it. Oh, yo, I don't know if I remember one of the streams got ended. It got cut short by YouTube, and I didn't even know it. Like I was still talking. I thought I was talking to you and Courtney still, and the video had got cut short by YouTube, and I just went on talking, But like anyway, I was talking about how like on Tubi they have Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? Have you ever seen the Courage the Cowardly Dog movie crossover with Scooby Doo? Where Are You? And they end up finding out exactly what it is that's causing all this weird shit to happen in nowhere, out in the middle of nowhere on Courage the Cowardly Dog. Have you ever seen that? It's fucking crazy. They explain why all the weird stuff is going on in the show. Right. Oh, and I did try that code, or I did try to log into the Paramount stuff that Courtney sent me later that night, but I didn't do it until way later that night. So I didn't want to like message her at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and be like, "Hey, it didn't work," blah blah blah. But I did try it a couple different ways. Like I tried using capitals and no capital. I tried like a bunch of different ways. I couldn't get it to work. It just kept saying it was the wrong email or password. But I did try to watch that movie you guys were telling me to watch. I was gonna watch it, Interstellar. No, bro, I never knew that existed. What? Yeah, I watched it recently on Fire Stick. I don't remember if it was on Tubi or what program, Hulu, Tubi, Disney Plus. I don't know. I don't remember what it was on, but I remember seeing it and then watching it. I saw it on something, and then I'm like I'm gonna watch this, so I fucking watched it, and I'm not gonna tell you how or why or what. I'm just not gonna, no spoilers. I'm not telling you shit. You're just gonna have to watch it. Watch the crossover of Scooby Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog, because it explains some shit, and I'm not gonna tell you. You're just gonna have to watch it. I didn't know it was a thing, dude. I'd never heard of it. Didn't know it was ever fucking became a thing. That's crazy. There's a lot of crossovers that I wasn't aware of. Like, did you know there was a Kim Possible crossover with Lilo and Stitch? That I actually might have been aware of as a kid, but I don't really remember. That was a while ago. You know what I mean? I was watching that stuff. Well, exactly. What happened exactly, bro? Oh, well, it just kept saying it's the wrong email. Sorry, it's the right. It just kept saying it was the wrong email or password. I did try it. I tried it a few different ways. Like I tried using with and without capital letters and stuff, and like the first letter, and I typed it exact to the way she sent it to me. It just kept saying wrong email or password. The Jimmy and Timmy, yeah, I remember that one. I do remember that one. I do for sure remember watching that one. The Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. Remember Chalk Zone? Beauty to booty. Chalk Zone was my shit, man. And Ed and Eddie. I remember one time specifically, I was like pissed off because my mom was like, I was like a little kid. My mom was telling me I have to go take a bath. I'm like, I don't want to miss Ed and Eddie. So she's like, well, you have to go take a bath or if you want to eat. And I'm like, oh, fuck that. I want to watch Ed and Eddie. Why can't I watch Ed and Eddie and then take my bath? You know what I mean? So I went in there and I like fucking ran in there. You know what I mean? I just took, I just started running the water and like, fucking, I just like scrubbed myself down really quick, rinsed myself off, jumped right out. And I just ran in the living room. I'm like, I ain't missing Ed and Eddie for shit. I don't care how quick of a bath I'll go in there and take my damn bath, but it's gonna be the quickest 2-second bath, and then I ain't missing my Ed and Eddie. Oh, okay. I will. I'll try it again. I'll have to I'll have to get back into my Facebook and look at the message that she sent me of the password and stuff. But like I gotta I gotta end the video to do that, and I kind of gotta run to the bathroom, and I gotta do stuff. But I'll check it out as soon as I'm done. You know, Ed, and Eddie's a top tier. Shame how Cartoon Network ended up not being. I know, man. Network is never going to be as good as it once was. Like, remember Samurai Jack, Courage the Cowardly Dog, um, Kids Next Door, uh, I'm just drawing out Billy and Mandy, all the good shit, all the good stuff. Yep. But you got to watch that crossover, dude, because it explains why all the weird shit's happening in nowhere. There's like they somehow came up with an explanation for why, and I'm just I want to. It's like I want to tell you why, but you're just gonna have to watch it. I'm not giving it away. No spoilers. Fuck crazy. When you get the time. When I get the time, what? Oh, the password or the Paramount. Yeah, I'll check it out. I did want to check out that movie you guys mentioned and tell her I said thank you, for the Paramount thing. I just didn't when I tried it, it was later that night, you know what I mean? It was like 2 or 3 in the morning or something. So like I didn't want to bother you guys about it and be like, oh, it didn't work, like it's ain't that big of a deal. But but thank you though. Really. I will check out that movie. But like I said, I was trying to check it out that night because you guys wanted me to watch it. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch it right now before I forget. And then, yeah, I did try. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try hit this burnt, mostly burnt vape. Oh well, it's all right. Yeah, so I mean, that was supposed to be a really short video. I just now realized it's been going on for like an hour and 13 minutes. So I guess I might as well end it. Like the whole mycology section of the video is pretty darn short, but I always like chopping it up with you, you and Courtney. Like it's cool to always, just talk to you guys after all the main part of like the science part of the video. But yeah, I figured this one was only going to run like 10, 20 minutes, but I'm always happy to hang around and talk afterwards. Like it's cool to just, touch base with you guys, be like, "Hey, how's shit going on?" Yo, what part of I know you told me before, but my dad asked me earlier and I couldn't answer. What part of Texas or what part of Texas are you guys in or near? I remember you saying you guys were near some city like Houston or Austin or Dallas or something like that or something. I couldn't remember. Like ever since I got hit in the head or I hit my head, my memory has been kind of fucked lately. I'm not gonna lie. As hard as I try to remember shit, but I did mention you're staying in Texas now, and he's like, "Oh, what part?" And I'm like, "Fuck." When you think about that, so I just sit there and go like, I don't know, is it near Dallas or Austin? I don't fucking know. I remember y'all saying it was near some one of the more well known cities or something. I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Amarillo, Texas, 5 hours from Dallas. So it was Dallas. I knew it was like Dallas or Austin or Houston or something like that. I knew it was one of the like major ones you hear about. I've never been to Texas. My dad used to live in Texas when he was a kid. I've never even stepped foot in Texas. Well, now we're from Lubbock. I know I've heard of Amarillo somewhere. I don't know where or why or in what context, but I know I've heard of Amarillo. I want to say from watching a video or something, or maybe a movie. Well, you're 5 hour Amarillo, 5 hours from Dallas. I guess that's not that close to Dallas then. 5 hours. Then again, Texas is like a huge state, isn't it? Right? It's like the biggest state. In my head, I guess I just always assume Texas is like a giant fucking desert or something. I'm sure parts of it are. I'll tell him that. I'll remember Amarillo, Texas. I'm sure he knows of it if he hasn't been there. Uh, Texas is big as fuck, bro. I bet. I do believe it. 100%. I mean, I'm not even in the same part of Arkansas where you and I grew up. You know, Mountain Home is way different. I mean, you've been to Mountain Home. You used to, I remember you came with us a couple times to Mountain Home to go to the lake. And I mean, you already know it's way different than Blytheville, and Gosnell area. Like Blytheville, Gosnell, there's like flat land. There's no like, there's no real like geography. The geography is way different. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, in Mountain Home, there's like mountainous kind of landscape, not really mountains. I mean, it's part of the Ozarks, but you know what I'm saying. It's a lot different than where we grew up. It's still Arkansas, though. Houston is 12 hours away. Said Courtney. Okay. Cool. Didn't she say she's from Colorado? Why would she move from Colorado to Texas? I feel like Colorado is probably more lit than Texas. Like what made Joe or what made her end up in Texas? I have to ask because I remember at one point in my life I was considering moving to Colorado. Not so much anymore. But at one point I was like, yeah, I want to move to Colorado. Now I don't really fucking have any destination in mind. Just up. Oh, okay. Well, hey, I gotta run to the bathroom really quick, and I'll be right back. All right, just 1 second. That's cool, but I gotta go to the bathroom. Sorry about that. I've, I moved to Colorado at 21 to Houston to be a flight attendant. What was it all said? My son moved back to Colorado with my ex-husband. Augusta, because he joined the army, moved to Germany. Is Augusta part of Germany? Because there's like an Augusta, Wisconsin. I've been to Augusta, Wisconsin. It's a town where there's like a whole bunch of Amish communities living out there. A whole bunch of Amish folk. Augusta, Georgia. Okay, I've been to Atlanta, Georgia. I've been to Georgia. Graphemeware. I don't know how to say that, but okay, cool. Yeah, my dad lived in Germany as a kid, and then I think later on in his life when he was in the army too. Yeah, I forget where. I'm not very good at remembering shit lately. German places be named great. I mean, he ain't lying. German shit be some weird sounding stuff. Europeans, man. Yeah, I mean, my dad's cool and all, but he can kind of be a dick too. So, I mean, I'm not like my dad, if I'm being honest. Like, personality wise, he can be kind of a dick. I mean, he's cool for the most part, but when he's in a mood, you know what I mean? He's just like not someone you want to be around. He's not always a great vibe. Nowhere near as bad as my brother, though, but my brother's got drug problems. Like, psh. If my dad's in a good mood, though, he's cool. You know, he's all right to talk to. You know, he's got his moments, though. Sometimes Sherry will do some shit to piss him off, and then I'm just like, fuck, you know, like I was just about to ask him, like, for a favor, like, you know, like I need him to order something online for me, and you know, like I have the money for it, but you know, like to order what I was gonna ask him to order for me, but like I always try to find a good window of opportunity when my dad's in a good mood to try to ask him a favor, like, hey, can you help me out? Or can you do this for me? Or can you blah, blah, blah. And then Sherry will go and piss him off. And I'm like, fuck, you know, now I don't know when I'm going to have another opportunity where he's in a good mood, good enough mood where I feel okay to like ask him. And, you know, that's just my own mental block, I guess. But, you know, it is what it is. Maybe I just really need to learn how to do shit for myself and not have to ask people for help. It's probably really the real solution here is learn how to be more independent. Yeah, been pretty close to having my own place a few times, but not quite there. It's like something that's always just out of reach, like having my own place, having my own car, having my own independence and freedom, you know, to do as I feel like I need to and want to do. But it's always been right outside of my grasp, you know. Something always happens to kind of rip every opportunity from out underneath me. But persistence is key, and I'm not about to give up either. So I have faith. I had a dream that you said your dad only helped you if you did what he wanted and held his money over your head. If anything, it's more like my dad holds his intelligence over everybody else. Like he thinks he's the smartest motherfucker on the block, but like I'm smart enough to know for a fact that everyone's smart about something, right? Like everyone's an expert when it comes to something they're interested in, and that applies to pretty much everyone, unless you like really have some severe mental disability, I guess. But in most cases, people are smart about something, even if they're a damn near idiot about everything else. Everyone has their area of expertise, I like to say. Just like me, I don't know a whole lot outside of mycology and biology and, select certain areas of what I find interesting about history. Like everyone has their interests and their passions and the things that they know a lot about, usually. August 31st, 63. Yeah, I think that's right. August 31st, 63. Yeah, he's a Virgo. Is he? For the most part, he's cool, but like I said, you got to catch him when he's in a good mood. Sometimes he's not. Yeah, I think, and I'm going to assume it must be part of like a defense mechanism because why should you have to feel like you are so smart, so much more intelligent than everyone else around you? Like, does that make you feel like a big man? I don't need to feel that way. I'm not the smartest one in the room. I don't know a situation where I am. I like to talk a lot. It doesn't mean I'm trying to act like I'm a smart ass or that I know everything because I'm learning something new all the time every day. You know, not even a mycology expert. I just really find it interesting and like to learn a lot about it. Um, I wouldn't even call myself a jack of all trades, let alone a master of any. I'm just not, but doesn't mean I don't like to learn. It's very annoying. Yeah, well, I see. I'm the kind of person, especially lately. I always just try to put myself in the other person's shoes. So even if they're being a dick at that moment, something led to them being a dick or feeling insecure in whatever way that they then feel like they have to project their intelligence over everyone else to make them feel more secure. It's a flaw in their personality, not yours. You know what I mean? You just can't take it personally. Let them think they're the smartest person in the room. Like, what does it really fucking matter? It doesn't. Here to tell you it doesn't. What matters in the end? Nothing. What separates us all in the end? Nothing. Who's going to live in the end? Nobody. So is anything really worth getting that serious over? Especially some shit like, "Oh, I'm the smartest motherfucker in the room, and everyone else is a dumbass." Does any of that matter? No. None of us are gonna get out alive. You take your shit so seriously, man. Yeah. No, I totally get it. Sometimes even I'm in a mood, especially when I'm hangry. If I get hungry and someone's sitting there pushing my every goddamn button and I'm politely asking them to just back the fuck off and they won't, like, you better watch out. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm hungry and shit, I get hangry. And then if someone's sitting there fucking with me on top of that, like, just, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be on the other end of myself. getting mad. Fuck that. Yeah. Everyone has their triggers, right? Terrence said I get hangry too. Saying that you get hangry or saying that he gets hangry? Who's saying who gets hangry? He's saying he gets hangry? Oh, yeah. Being hungry, especially starving. Like, think about it. If you were starving, like literally, like you haven't been eating in a few days, let's say you're in a survival situation, being hungry enough can bring out the absolute worst in humanity. Like, no kidding. You get hungry enough, you might do anything to eat something. People don't like to starve. I know I don't. I get hungry quick, especially when I'll be absolutely not hungry at all, right? Period. No hunger in me at all. And if I just smell food, see food on a billboard, or if someone mentions food, it's like all of a sudden, like my mouth starts watering, my stomach starts rumbling. I'm like, you motherfucker, like I was fine. And then you had to just go on and say something about like some steak and shake burgers or something, man, or whatever, just some food. Talk about some Papa John's pizza, man, or whatever. I'm like, oh my god, now I'm hungry, you motherfucker. Really, I should just be eating my 3 square meals a day. That's what you're supposed to do, right? I don't. I think all I had to eat today was like two little tiny round Eggo frozen pancakes. And see, honestly, I like to make my own pancakes. I don't like to take frozen pancakes and heat them up in a toaster. But that, it's quick and easy and simple fucking fix. So I had that. And then I had like a little tiny bag of some Members Mark brand tortilla chips, a little tiny bag of chips. I probably should have ate a little bit more than that today. We got chili though. We got a freezer full of chili. There's no reason I couldn't go heat up some chili and eat that. Man, god damn it, now I'm hungry. See, now I'm just on one. I'm like, god damn, now I'm hungry. It happens just like that too. I'm not lying, like that quick. I wasn't even hungry. Now I am. I'm like, fuck. And all it took was initially just talking about being hangry. Now here I am talking about being hangry. Then I started talking about food. Now I'm actually getting hungry. Motherfucker. Uh, I'm a crazy foodie. Yeah. See, I guess I'd like to say I am too. I remember especially when COVID started and I was just like sitting in my room a lot of the time, like not with like with really not shit to do. And I started watching a best ever food review show. And sometimes it's like bizarre foods, like what he's eating doesn't look all that appetizing. It looks like some shit you'd be questionable about putting in your mouth. But then sometimes he's like eating some shit that looks really fucking good, and you're like, oh my god. I'd be sitting there just torturing myself watching this guy on YouTube eat all this food, and I'm just sitting there with my stomach just rumbling, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I like to torture myself like that sometimes. It's like, dude, just go fucking eat. So go whip up a fucking peanut butter sandwich. Goddamn. Like, go fucking, like, get up. Go eat. Quit just staring at the TV and watching someone else eat and then just torturing yourself. I don't know. Terrence made cordon bleu sandwiches last. Ooh, I love cordon bleu. Hell yeah. And the fucking chicken with the cheese and the ham and stuff. Cordon bleu, man. That's what I've been getting from Arby's lately. their cordon bleu because that's what I like. I like their cordon bleus. Fucking so spicy chicken patties, tipped with honey, and just you smoke Gouda cheese, and yeah, fuck yeah, with honey Dijon and mayo. Man, god damn it, well, y'all are evil. What did I even have last night? Oh yeah, it was grilled cheese and baked potato soup. What am I gonna eat tonight? Maybe chili. I don't know what else we got in the fridge. He just gave our ribs to Sherry. I think we're out of brats now. It's all right. I'll just go eat some apple butter on toast to hold me over while I heat up some chili or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm fucking hungry now though. Thanks, guys. I'm just kidding. I was already kind of hungry. Your boys turned into a good ass cook. I believe it. You know, sometimes you got to adapt. I had to learn. You know, I had to learn how to cook, not only just from work, but also just because I like to eat. I mean, also just because, I mean, from work, between working at restaurants and being a cook and a line cook and working at fast food places, and then also living with a bunch of mouths to feed, I've learned how to cook too quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I learned some tricks from Kelly too, like how to make really good macaroni salad, which isn't something I ever used to like uh, myself. But man, if you do it right, macaroni salad is the shit. Got to use frozen peas. That's one big tip right there. Don't use canned peas for macaroni and salad. Frozen peas, huge difference. Huge difference. God damn. Now I'm just like my mouth is watering. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Go make some nachos. Ooh yeah, maybe I'll do that. I might make some nachos. Take some tortilla chips, put some shredded cheese on them, heat that up, and then dip it in the salsa. That salsa we got from a Mexican restaurant. Probably do that. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna call the stream uh, at that, guys. I'll start scheduling it later, like an hour, because I usually schedule it for like 8, right? I guess I just felt like that was a good time to do it usually, but I'll just schedule it like an hour later. Now it's no biggie. Yeah. Good night. Y'all have a good night. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night, and I'm gonna go feed my hangry ass before if it gets any worse. Now, yeah, I'll probably eat some chips and salsa or chili or something. All right. Well, thanks again for tuning into this episode, y'all. I'm gonna call it at that. I really appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a good rest of your night. Peace out.